Good evening, everybody. Hey, Joe Dog here. Getting ready for Stupid O'Clock. I've been sort of missing you guys. I've been slightly under the weather. Basically, the tornado of uh, bad weather for health and all that. But with us, we got John and Dan.
Hi.
Hey, and, okay, Pete, what are you doing? Bill Sartain. Hey, Bill, how you doing?
I was going to try to make him think that Tom Holland was here.
Yeah.
We should be so lucky.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, but we do have a celebrity.
But we got Chris.
Yeah, I'm no Tom Holland, but
Mm.
I'm here.
I was going to ask Chris who the celebrity was.
Well,
Bumps.
And
Hello,
Sarah
Sarah.
Heiser's already here checking in, saying hello to everybody.
Howdy, howdy.
I'm glad we didn't scare her off with that overloaded question she asked last time.
did we ever sufficiently answer that, or did we just go off in a billion directions at once?
I
We,
think we give
hey,
her some
hey,
answers.
we did exactly what that post would have done if completed. Went in a billion different directions,
That's what we're good at.
and we'll just
Uh,
leave it at that.
Yeah.
mm.
Appreciate your patience, Sarah.
Oh, and there's Carl.
Oh, Carl.
Hey, Carl, wave, hi, bye, see ya. Thanks
Hey,
for
Carl.
coming.
Good luck with the morning Meyer trip.
Yeah, really. And thank you for last night's green room. That was fun.
Yeah,
Well, they
it, it,
always are.
it kicked up probably after I left because I was the stick in the mud.
Yeah, it continued in its own insane perambulations.
Yeah.
But
Of course, me and you thought the same
Sure.
thing.
to refresh my memory, I have been asleep since then.
I forget her name. Said her husband gets out today,
Oh, yes.
and I went, "Who posted bond?"
Really. How much was the bail? No, he got out of the hospital. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good thing. That's a good
Yeah.
thing. That's Teresa's husband.
Yeah,
Yes.
Teresa. Oh,
Teresa. Okay. Yeah.
uh,
And you thought I didn't bother to learn anybody's names for at least 2 years after I meet them.
As long as you know the addresses.
Mm.
Carl just said it's a good thing he doesn't try the green room the night before the Meyer trip. Whew. Goals, Carl, goals. I'm going to move Stupid O'Clock to 8 o'clock on Friday, so you got to do the green room on Saturday.
Ooh.
Oh, fucking shit.
Do that every other week.
That ain't going to happen. We can just barely get everybody to show up on Friday.
Hey,
Oh.
Zach from the launch pad. Zach,
Hey.
I saw you on the Starship presentation. Looks like you were next in line for the question, and they said, "And we're cutting off questions." Right before he got there, he would have been the next up, and that's the way it was looking. But Zach, yeah, I saw you on the presentation. It was right at the last question.
Happy to have you
So,
tuning in.
yeah, happy to have you tuning in. And I got to ask. Okay, he said, yeah, so close. He had 2 or 3 people ahead of us. Let me ask, what does it look like stacked? Is it really that big? Or better yet, if you're interested, we'll bring you on and let you talk if you want to talk. Join us tonight. Just say so, and I'll shoot you a link real quick.
Hmm?
He said
No
he.
card moment, huh?
Yeah. Well, those Raptors were close enough. You could have touched them.
Oh. I imagine it is pretty exciting to actually be there and see the thing.
Yeah. Everybody that I've talked to says,
Hello.
"Hey, Willow, thank you." And
Oh, good, yes.
All right, I'll get you the link and send it through your Discord message. But everybody I've talked to says what you see on screen is like about half of what you're comprehending in size.
Mm-hmm. I
Well,
just
it
want to
doesn't do
flash
it
this up. I know we said hello already, but just
Yeah.
to make sure, yeah. Good evening, Willow. It's nice to have you with us.
All right, and I'm sending this over to Zach real quick.
All right. Oh, I swear the nap ninjas had been beating me about the head and shoulders today.
Oh, the nap ninjas got me too. After I told you I went to the doctor the other day and got a they handed me 5 medications to help whoop the Rona.
Uh huh.
They called me Thursday. I now
Always.
take. Oh, hey, Ace Bunny. I now
Hey,
take
Ace.
rovastatin, calcium,
Now,
and red krill oil for
now you're just
cholesterol.
trying to show off.
Hmm.
Mm,
Yeah, I had to get me a pill organizer.
wow.
Yeah, I got old real quick.
I've been
I'm not
juggling
touching
new
that
meds.
line. I swear, this is not the green room. I cannot touch that
Uh,
line.
yeah, the other day,
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate the applause.
Mark Michael the other day showed. Yeah, you're getting old when you got to have one of these, and it had 2 pills in it.
Yeah.
I said, "Oh, it's just the adult lottery. You'll
Yeah.
get a few more." Now I got to get one, put 5 in.
And the
Well,
trick is to remember to actually open the damn thing and take the pills for that day.
Yeah,
4.
And not wind up on Thursday and still have Sunday's stuff in the box.
yeah.
hey,
I'm
at
afraid of that.
least Mark's around to celebrate it because he was
Oh,
pretty reckless at one point in time.
What's our time? What's our time? 10,
10
10
minutes.
10
minutes?
10. 10
Yeah.
10.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it's about 10
Yeah.
minutes and 5 seconds. Oh,
I got the other one.
you got the other one. Okay, I was about to go.
Mhm.
Dang, they jumping in quick tonight.
Well, they showed up at the same time. It's the same bot with 2 different names. And there's a third one, and there they go. Here's Johnny. Uh,
I
oh,
got, I got something for them. I think that was Zach that just popped in. For
Speaking of
everybody,
Russian bots,
yeah,
there's
sure
our
is.
favorite Russian bot.
no, that's our favorite Canadian bot.
I'll be
And
a bot either way.
and Zach, just so you know, you're not the only Canadian watching tonight. Willow Schuyler, who is in Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so
Manitoba.
sorry.
And
My
for
family's from there.
yeah, and for our Russian bots that we just popped off, just threw the ban bot on.
Good night, everybody.
Oh, you gotta love those Russian bots, though.
Oh, yeah, they do give us views. So,
Yeah.
even if it's only momentarily.
Mhm.
I still like this one better.
Okay. Now that one takes a judgment call.
Yeah, and old. I don't know if Zach's even old
It-
enough to know what that was.
I'm
Did you
blanking.
see it?
That
I've
was
seen it before, but I couldn't place it.
That's actually at the
Superman
beginning of
2.
Superman 2, yeah.
That's actually
oh,
from the beginning.
no, actually, that's Superman
Actually,
1,
Superman
isn't it?
1, yeah, that's the
Yeah.
Oh,
Which
okay.
Superman 1 and Superman 2 were both made in 1977 anyway, so
Mm.
they
It's a
just
little
had
bit
different
before me.
release dates.
Mhm.
Wow, that was quick.
Yep.
Mm.
That was not Superman 1.
And
They didn't have the 3 villains in Superman 1. They came out in Superman 2. Superman 1 was with Lex Luthor, played by Gene Hackman, and the nuclear weapon.
In
You're
the
wrong.
preamble, they did have the 3 villains being originally banished.
Yeah.
to-
That was the trial.
That
and
was in the first one.
Yeah.
And
That
then
was-
they came back.
Yep, they came back for 2. They
For 2.
accidentally got out of the Venom Zone for Superman 2.
Yep.
and
No,
Marcus.
so actually, Superman let them loose, if I remember correctly.
Accidentally, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, not on purpose.
Oh, yeah. If I do it, it's a war
Purpose.
crime. If Superman does it, it's an accident. I see how
Yeah.
that is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And Zach Willow is saying Winnipeg is Canada's armpit. We are the smoker capital of the world and the murder capital of Canada.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Salute.
Well, we're getting a lot of Russian bots.
Yeah, go ahead and take care of them, guys. I want to talk to Zach here.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll do bot watch.
Yeah. So Zach, like I was telling Dan, what you see on the TV on your computer screen or your big TV or whatever you pull the YouTubes up, what you're seeing is only your brain is only comprehending about half the size. Is that about right?
Yeah. It's weird. It's a weird phenomena standing there because though you know the size is, I mean, it's massive, there's nothing around it. So you don't actually really respect how big it is.
No
Nothing
scale.
to give
I'm
you
working
scale.
on-
Yeah.
Yeah. So like you really don't, especially when we were there that night, they turned every single light off on Starbase except the studio, the event lighting. So like you couldn't even see the orbital tank farm or Starhopper or anything. So it really was just this massive rocket and tower. That like though yes you were looking up to it, I don't think you were looking up as much as I thought you would be.
But you
I've
were
also
further
stood
back
next to it for a
away
few
than
days.
you. So did you get close to look at Raptor 2?
Oh, this I can screen. Is there screen share in here?
Yes.
Yeah, sure is.
Let's see.
It says share.
There
And
we
then
go.
you click on what type of program you want to share.
Perfect. Window. And these are allowed. I've verified that all these photos are acceptable to air
Yeah.
with SpaceX. That's where I was standing for the event.
It's you and Robbie the robot.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So,
Actually, a Raptor 1 does look like Robbie the robot. Do you see it, Dan?
I wish I had one of those in my old Chevy.
Now, the one behind him is Raptor 2 with half the.
yeah, I've got there's a picture of just the two of them.
Yeah. And the thing
It's a
is,
lot cleaner.
And the
Oh,
thing
yeah.
is, the one on the back is more powerful than the one in the front.
Well, the design has been streamlined, so yeah.
Mhm.
And
Once
Elon
you-
says they're going to clean it up even more. Which
Once you get
everyone's
rid
like,
of the catalytic
how?
converter, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, they got rid of the catalytic converter.
Get rid of all the
Or-
pollution control stuff. That thing will fly.
As the folks at work call it, the Cadillac converter.
Yeah.
You turn in that, you go into a real car.
Oh, that's what happened. Somebody stole the catalytic converter off the Raptor engine. That's what that is.
Now,
Throw that platinum in the bugger.
hey, you talk about, you said Yugos. Do you know Yugos had a rear window defroster?
I didn't even know they had rear windows.
Yeah, they had rear window defrosters. You know what they were for? Keep your hands warm when you're pushing it out of the road in the wintertime.
But
Yeah,
You know,
I'm busy with the bots. John, you got to handle the laughing horse.
I'm not going to do the laughing horse.
Yeah.
Do you know where Yugo got their engine design?
Where?
Fiat.
France.
Fiat.
They stole their designs from Fiat.
From Italy. Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
And
Well,
Fix
strangely
it
enough,
again, Tony.
now the way I found this out was my brother bought a Fiat X19,
Mhm.
the little two-seater sports car they have.
Yeah, the Bertoni design.
And he was redoing the carburetor for it, but it turns out you can't find jets for it anymore. For the car, but it turns out the jets in the Yugo carburetor are exactly the same. So he was like going around the junkyards and finding brand new Yugos. Yeah.
Low mileage at that.
Pun intended. Brand new Yugos that were already in the junkyard and pulling the carburetor jets out of them.
So, and I gotta ask, did you survive not bringing a bug home this time?
I think so. I didn't bring a bug home. I brought a sunburn home instead. So, it's always swapping something out. But
A Canadian with
nothing
a
a little
sunburn in February.
yeah.
Actually,
Yeah. You got looks at the airport for sure. Because it wasn't like a little sunburn. It was like I was redder than a tomato. And yeah.
Yeah, Texas sun will do that to you.
Now, wait a minute. I know for a fact that in snowy country, you can get a sunburn real quick.
Yeah,
That's
just from the reflection of the snow.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
it's kind of funny. You get the sunburn here.
Mhm.
You just don't go outside when it's cold.
Bill's
And then
sitting in the
you're
dark
fine.
right now because he went outside with the blizzard going on and got his eyes sandblasted. But
It's become a regular thing with me now, but tonight they're hurting me a little worse than normal. And I didn't want to have the lighting be right and put on sunglasses and steal skunk's thunder.
you will. You need to get yourself some of those fancy Eskimo glasses to go outside with, the ones with a teeny tiny slit to look through.
Oh,
Mine are right here. I actually have a pair of fancy.
I got a pair of Foster Grants that work just fine,
okay.
but
I'm talking about the ones the child gangster was wearing in Big Trouble in Little China in the airport.
oh yeah,
And it's got the little flaps on the side to keep the
Start
rocks and
stinking.
snow out of your
yeah. That's what Laura's dad has.
Yeah, but you probably got them to keep the sand out of your eyes.
No, I was climbing in the Alps. Well, that's one thing I wanted to mention. He was talking about how you were looking at the rockets and you couldn't really get the scale because of how big it was. I took a camera with me when I was climbing in the Alps. I was trying to take a picture to show everybody how big these mountains were. And because it's like you have to do this to take the picture, but it just looks, when you get the picture home, it looks like a rock sitting in a garden somewhere. It doesn't look like the Alps.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird illusion. It's hard to. I mean, you can't even, like, a lot of the photos we took were, had to do panorama. We were so close, and you get home and the panorama just slowly squeezes it together at the top, and you're like, well, that's not what we're But it's an interesting thing, and they were top of security, so you were careful what you were photographing and stuff. So they didn't want anything not photographed that wasn't supposed to be.
Have they tested the booster yet? The first
They
stage?
cryo test.
Just cryo.
That's it. They haven't actually flown one. I don't know if
No.
they could fly that by itself or not.
They're still waiting on FAA clearance. And you notice the
FAA
date
and the methane.
Why hasn't Elon Musk bought the FAA yet? I mean, why didn't he own it?
He's in negotiations. Give him time.
Well,
Hey, you remember how Jeff Bezos was trying to sue NASA to get rid of all SpaceX? That's how Elon Musk needs to get his revenge, is buy the FAA and don't let Bezos fly his rockets anymore.
One option.
Now,
yeah, the operative word is option. There are other things he can do.
Zach, here's a question. When does SLS launch?
When
does SL launch?
That's a good one. From what I've heard with NASA, because we've been talking with them about the launch, rollout, they are hoping in the next 6 weeks or so. So end of March. and then it will, from what we've been hearing, it'll go out. They will do a wet dress rehearsal. They will roll it back within a month. They will do final prep, and then it will roll out again for launch. So with them saying a month, it's a little confusing if it's like going out wet dress back, waiting a month, or how that's gonna, if it's gonna sit out there for a while. I kind of doubt it. But I'm guessing May, June at the earliest.
Okay.
If they see nothing wrong.
Converting that to government time, we're talking 2035 at the earliest.
Yeah.
They're aiming for June, I think.
Okay. Last I heard was like March 20th was the, and then FAA says, well, it'll be March 28th before we give our final approval. I said, of course, you heard me say before, I think the FAA's just holding it up for SLS to launch.
I
actually, it's kind of funny. I'm reading an article, and they've got might launch in April, May, or June.
Yeah, so it's all to do with the launch windows, and I'm just trying to find those.
And
because there's 2 set weeks each month that they're able to launch. So the first launch window is April 8th to April 23rd. Then they will have 2 backup windows from May 7th to May 21st and June 6th to June 16th.
Now,
if we don't see it go out, it's tight.
Yeah. I thought the boosters expire the end of this month.
They expired the beginning of this month. I believe it was technically February 2nd. They, about 4 or 5 months ago, talked to the manufacturer, and the manufacturer released a statement. Oh, the 12 months was us being safe. You can do 18, which they never said the entire shuttle program.
No.
So, yeah. And someone asked that. We were on a press call with them.
Pulling a Scotty maneuver and telling everybody a much lower number than the actual figure.
Yeah.
This is.
We were on a call with them, and they were saying that, like, someone asked them directly, like, what happens if we get to June and we're not launching? July and August, they're actually hitting that expired date. And NASA's response was, we'll figure it out.
Who's building those boosters?
Let's just falsify information so we can save ourselves some money.
Yeah, I wish Stephanie
that
was
sounds
here.
like something a government would do.
I wish Stephanie was here because, actually
we
being
would actually know.
part of the shuttle program, she would probably.
Well, that's what I was just asking, is who's building is it still Morton Thiokol that's building the boosters?
Whoever bought Morton Thiokol.
Okay. I was trying to...
Yeah, who is it? It's
Bezos, that's who it was. I'm guessing.
I thought it was part of the ULA program service.
I believe it's SLS entirely is Aerojet Rocketdyne, Northrop Grumman, Boeing, ULA, and NASA.
Okay. Aerojet Rocketdyne is the...
Yeah, weren't they getting bought out by Boeing or somebody? Was that...
Yeah, that fell through. They announced in the first quarter of the Super Bowl.
It fell through. It's still a possibility. They're just reworking it.
Still could happen. Yeah. Just add a few more billion.
Didn't they make the land vehicle for Battlestar Galactica?
Who? What?
Didn't they make the Land Ram vehicle for Battlestar Galactica, the original series?
I don't know.
It's been quite a while since the original.
Northrop Grumman is the SRB. Well, I'm sure. Well, it doesn't make. I mean, of course, we've got Zach's crew in here giving us all this information.
Marcus is my fact checker.
Well, I'm asking the questions.
And
one thing I learned in the military: go to the people that know what's going on and ask them the questions.
And Lockheed is building the Orion capsule. Well, thank God it's not Boeing. Where'd that come from? Somebody, did I say that out loud?
It's Yo-Yo-Dyne Productions that's doing it. Yeah.
Could be
worse.
Could be United Launch Alliance.
Unable to launch anything. I mean, I hear Astra's being looked at by Boeing. or ULA,
Why?
unable to
They've
launch
had
anything.
one good launch. Why would anybody put their money there right now? I'm not sure. We'll see.
Those folks in Australia, or was it New Zealand, have been able to put a rocket up when they want to. So
Rocket Lab, Rocket Lab is SpaceX Light right now.
Their Neutron's gonna be pretty amazing.
Yeah.
If it actually looks like how it looks.
Yeah.
They had that.
I love how they're going to put the second stage inside the still attached fairing, and it's going to close back up like in James Bond, and then they're going to land the whole first stage.
Wow. That'll be impressive.
I was wondering why SpaceX never did something like that with their second stage.
They are.
It's called it limits the payload.
Yeah. They are. It's called Starship.
Okay. There you go. No, I was always wondering how come they didn't have on their Falcon 9 a smaller Falcon 9 up on top with the payload in it.
Vacuum engines. The bell on the vacuum.
It would have had a slightly different cone on it. Yeah, but
so instead of a second stage, a smaller
little second stage with the payload on top and the fairings, have something about the size, almost the size of a Falcon 9. Not quite as big, but something that go up, drop off the payload, and then come back down. And it'd probably orbit once. You know.
Yeah. Sweet Elon, he might make it happen.
Yeah. Well,
half his ideas from Twitter.
I'm gonna tell you one of the perfect things for lunar Starship. Ferry your astronauts up in Dragon capsules.
That's what's going to happen at first. It's going to take a very long time, I think, for NASA to human rate, not Starship, the booster.
Yeah.
I want to see them build something like the ISS that does like a figure 8 orbit between the moon and Earth. And if you want to send astronauts or cargo to the moon, launch it, have it rendezvous with the station, and just orbit with it. I have to talk to Stephanie about that one.
That's
if that orbit actually works.
Yeah,
is that possible?
Yeah, they're actually Buzz Aldrin came up with that idea. It was originally for the moon, but he said, if we do it for the moon, we could do it to Mars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always,
a
large ship is transport.
When the Apollo launched and went to the moon, once the whole command service lander module got there, it orbited. And then finally, once they made their endeavors back, they boosted out of orbit and came back to Earth. But there's nothing to say that you have to set that orbit where you stay there. You just orbit around it once.
You could just slingshot around
and then slingshot around Earth and head back to the moon and so on. And it's a figure 8 orbit.
Yeah, in perpetuity. There's a Mars transit orbit with that sort of math. I can't remember what it's called.
Ace and his puns. Yep, Elon should name one of the starships Jefferson.
Moving on up.
Oh, it'd take miracles to do that, Ace. But if they did, they'd be riding the Dragon.
And if they do send that big capsule lander to the moon, they need to name it Rock and Roll. And when they land and make the little city on the moon, they can say, "We built this city on rock and roll." Gotcha. Okay.
I think David Bowie's got a copyright on some of this stuff.
And Marcus says, once you do the slingshot back towards Earth, the moon has moved.
Yeah, we know that.
So it alters the orbit.
You'd have to always do correction burns. So I guess you just have to always refill.
Well, everything that comes up will drop off fuel.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
Theoretically, I mean, it's basically what HLS is going to have to do eventually.
Yeah.
If you do the math right, you wouldn't need everything that came up to the figure 8 orbit to refuel whatever is doing the figure 8 orbit. You would use gravity to maintain the figure 8 for a lot of it, you would need some refueling for corrections, but not.
Well, they're always going to have.
I'm sorry, I
capsules.
can see the geometry, but the algebra is a bit fuzzy.
This is where we need Les in here. Oh, by the way, have you contacted him yet?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
It's on my list. I need
Okay.
to.
It's on
been
my
a busy
list.
month.
Yep.
Hopefully
Now we're
Elon
on
doesn't do another event.
And yes, the Occult did make the land ram vehicle using the original Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, okay. Oh,
But I don't think
I knew
could.
I shouldn't have had all that
Good.
spicy shrimp
Lord.
at Olive Garden.
So
That's
was
not
the
as
only
much
reason
either.
for the launch today to take snacks up to the people at the space station, basically?
Can you think of a better reason?
Snacks and some weird experiments.
Snacks,
Maybe.
weird experiments, and a fresh change of clothes.
I was going to say maybe they needed toilet paper.
Hey, you put me on a rocket, I'm going to need clean underwear.
Yeah, they took up a Colgate skin aging experiment. That's to study how the human skin is different in orbit and affects aging.
I can see that.
I wouldn't share that on possibly copyright things, but there's the image of it.
Oh, it's
Well-
not. That's in the public. That's in
That's
a
public
press
domain.
release.
That's NASA. Yeah. But I can see.
I'm talking about what I shared in
Oh.
private chat.
You know, the space environment is constantly recycled air and all that stuff. That's what I was going to bring up.
Oh,
You were
Was that the?
This is what he was talking about on Battlestar Galactica. They had the
Private chat's got the actual thing on it.
They had the.
I've seen that sort of thing in Antarctica. Well, not
Well, that's what that
personally,
is.
but yeah.
But
Well, it sort of looked like the one from Lost in Space too, except it was
no.
except it was all glass.
Yeah. The chariot from Lost in Space is
Or what the Jawa.
a Cadillac compared to the actual vehicle there
Yeah.
for Antarctica.
But you can see the
Oh
In
yeah, you
private
can see
chat.
the resemblance.
Maybe what the Jawas wrote in Star
no
Star Wars: A New Hope.
No, that's the next generation lunar rover. Ooh, teeny.
No, that's the Mars Colonial Movers.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're crossing the
We
streams
move
a lot
anywhere.
here tonight.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, when you said Jawa, Marcus, you've been watching Mandalorian or the Book of Boba Fett, right?
He definitely has been.
Mark, you have been watching it. Zach,
Oh, I haven't. No, I've been too busy.
there's a scene in The Mandalorian where one of the ladies, she's actually running the junk spacecraft repair shop.
Yep.
And they're needing parts for something. She goes, I know a Jawa. I used to date him. And then everybody's going, okay, you dated a Jawa. She says, oh, yeah, they're really furry, too. Which implies that,
They were intimate.
yeah,
Wow.
I think that was a given with the word dating. That implies more than just meeting up at the canteen for
yeah. When
Well,
you-
the really furry definitely confirmed it.
yeah.
They
and that just
They-
brought in
they-
another Russian bot right there.
I
Okay.
shot him down.
they could have been playing
Somebody got that
miniature
one.
golf,
There we go.
seeing a movie.
Yeah, but yeah, when you talk that was a big string on Facebook there for a while. Oh, of course, I got in trouble at a convention one time. This guy who was like 5'9", 5'10", was dressed up as a Jawa.
Mhm.
I walked up and I looked at him and said, Aren't you a little tall to be a Jawa? Dan got it.
Yeah.
Yes.
You
I'm
don't have
one
to
of the
be
OG
lonely
fans. Yes.
at onlyjawas.com.
Yeah. Now, also at that convention, this is I swear this happened. I witnessed it and actually posted as it happened. They had escalators at Memphis. It was the same hotel they do Mid South at.
Yeah.
The escalators broke down. These two girls dressed as in anime outfits freaked out because they were in the middle of the escalator when it broke down.
Jeez.
They spent the entire weekend trapped on the escalator. No doubt.
No,
Yeah, we're stuck.
Fortunately,
thankfully,
the fire department showed up and rescued them.
no, the staff actually jumped into action and gingerly walked them down the escalator.
I thought maybe they would put up an extension ladder and say, "Climb on down."
No, they put the big bag up there and inflated.
No, they were being nice.
You remember I was asking you who was making the solid rocket boosters? If it's still Morton Thiokol, and then we got into the discussion about who owns Morton Thiokol. This is what I pulled off of Wikipedia.
Yeah.
All the different companies that have owned Morton Thiokol over the last 50 years. And I love what Wikipedia wrote. And finally, Orbital ATK before becoming part of Northrop Grumman.
As long as the next one that owns them doesn't say Meta, you'll be all right.
This is true.
Wow, Marcus, that is scary.
Could be worse. They could bring back the Christmas special.
Marcus, I
You have our
understand.
sympathies.
I understand because I've seen it too.
I'm all for a Christmas special sequel.
No. Have you ever seen the original Christmas?
7 times.
Yes.
I introduced my Discord to it a couple weeks ago.
Do they love you or hate you?
Probably both.
Some of them
Hey.
might have changed their membership levels.
Hey, Art Carney and Mod was on there, so I
Yep.
mean, come on, you gotta. I mean, oh yeah, that's right. That stupid cartoon too.
I thought it was.
Hey,
The more I've watched it, it gets less bad.
generated more buzz than
Yeah, that's
anything.
called addiction.
Let's watch it now. Okay.
No, let's not.
You don't want to have a
One
nice
time, that's enough.
dream.
And
It
then
was
we'll.
not great by any stretch of the imagination, but it wasn't totally horrible either.
Yeah,
It had a
pretty
story.
much was.
It
Just
just
mostly
wasn't
horrible.
it just wasn't all that fantastic
It could-
the first time.
It could be a double feature. You know, the Star Wars Holiday Special, followed by Kiss versus the Phantom of the Park.
Hey, now that is
That was a good movie.
Yeah.
Now, hush.
Yeah.
It did have some good music. I'll say that much.
Oh,
Well, I mean, it would have to be an improvement over Bambi versus Godzilla,
Yeah.
but
Well, me and my brother and my sister watched that at the Fall Creek Falls Hotel lobby on their TV
wow.
when it aired originally.
Well, one of the worst films that I ever personally watched was Alien from LA because Kathy Ireland, even at the height of her popularity and beauty, could not save that piece of garbage.
now.
agreed.
If you
Kim
want to talk-
Basinger did pretty good in My Stepmother as an
Yeah.
alien.
Kathy
Yeah, but they had a young
Ireland made
Allison
up for
Hannigan
that
in it.
though when she was in Loaded Weapon 1.
Oh, Loaded Weapon 1 was hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, Kathy Ireland, Samuel L. Jackson, Emilio Estevez, and Tim Curry, and William Shatner.
And Proctor.
What about Gamble?
Well,
Thanks
there's
for
probably a
that.
lot of that going on.
They're usually a team, Procter and Gamble. I mean,
Back to space news.
Marcus just nailed it. The worst movie he's ever seen is called Velocipaster. So bad he couldn't help but laugh.
well, I felt that
I
way
don't
about
know.
watching The Exorcist when it first came out.
Morons from Outer Space was pretty bad.
Earth
You-
Girls Are Easy was
What is it?
kind of
Sharknado
weird.
12. I think they're up to.
72. Yeah,
Hey,
and that's not
Sharknado
because
was
the year it was made in.
All of the Sharknadoes.
That
They
was
started
phenomenal.
good.
Tara Reid didn't know what she was getting into.
Who?
Tara Reid didn't know what she was getting into.
What, on Sharknado?
Yes.
Oh.
You know, you wonder sometimes if they actually hand people the scripts for movies that bad before they actually show up on set. I mean, it's not like they've got a lot of lines to learn. The special effects do all the work.
Well, sometimes you need some publicity, and the thing is, even bad publicity is better than no publicity.
You know, Sci-Fi Network went through this renaissance where they had some really good shows.
Mhm.
Eureka.
Really? What week was that?
No, they did. They had Eureka.
Oh, I'd forgotten they actually did that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Stargate.
Destiny.
Yeah.
Stargate.
Kolchak the Night Stalker.
Did they do that?
Yep. And they had the Incredible Hulk on there too. The
Oh, okay. You're
78
talking about
series.
repeats of the original program.
Yeah, no, but
I'm
they had
talking
some
about stuff
original.
that they actually made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, they had Stargate, the Stargate series, Eureka, Warehouse 13,
13. Thank you. That's the one I was trying to remember.
Sanctuary.
Defiance.
Defiance.
I hate the fact that didn't. That was a good series, and I love the story behind it. They just, I don't know, they just quit.
I'm gonna tell you.
Sanctuary had Amanda Tapping in it.
Yeah, and y'all may not remember it, but it was called Third Wave.
Yep.
That was a good series. When Universal bought them out, it's when Universal bought out. Not Universal. Comcast bought Universal and got NBC and all that.
Mm-hmm.
They started killing all of it and started putting wrestling on it. And
Yeah.
Well, it started before then because they wouldn't give good shows. They put them in bad time slots and say, "Oh, it's not doing well." Wouldn't give it a chance to find an audience and killed it before it ever became any good.
Yeah, really. This is too expensive for us to rent, so we're going to kill it.
And then they make all these cheesy monster movies.
Nothing wrong with cheesy monster movies, but they can be.
You don't need 8 of them.
Not on the same day, no, unless it's a Godzilla monster marathon
in 2 months.
I was just reading today that when they were making the movie Alien, that was not the original name of the movie. The original name of the movie was going to be Space Beast.
Mm.
That's because it was based on. It wasn't Doc Smith, was it? No. A.E. Van Voigt. I do believe.
You're not talking about H.R. Geiger, are you?
No, I'm talking
No,
about
he was the artist.
Yeah, he was the artist that designed the sets and the suit for the alien. No. The original story came from Voyage of the Space Beagle, and the original monster was 12-foot tall, 4-armed, 4-legged, bright red barber pole with evil-looking eyes that laid eggs in people that it captured. And I think it's Von Voigt. I'd have to go and drag the paperback off of the shelf, but it was acknowledged at the time that this was one of the influences behind the script. and they had to change details in order to keep from paying the estate for the idea.
Yeah.
I'm
And
glad they did.
and it was sort of meant to be a little light and silly.
Mm.
But when Aliens came out, they flipped the entire thing to where it was serious badassery. Turned
Mhm.
Ellen Ripley into a serious badass.
Well, she was a serious badass in the first movie too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the thing
Well,
is, they
the
had
first
a fighting
movie-
chance in the second one.
In the first movie, she nuked the alien. Of course, she missed. I mean, how bad a shot you got to be to miss an alien with a nuclear weapon? But in the second movie, what's the first thing she said? We nuked the site from orbit. It's the only way to be sure.
Yeah, really. And don't
Local
miss
hits
this time.
agreed with her.
She did get it with a rocket thruster though.
In the first one, yeah.
In the first one, yeah.
Well, grappling hook.
No, it went out behind
Yeah,
it.
the grappling.
She hit the button and the thruster kept right on pushing
yeah.
it.
It was trying to crawl back in through the engine.
Mhm.
She hit the engine and just barbecued alien.
But I love the fact the engine was this big red button that looked like, the thing from Staples where you need to order paper or something like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
Daisy
exactly
button.
what you need in an escape pod, a big red button to fire the engines.
Hey, it works in Doctor Who.
What? We lost Zach. Oh,
No.
okay. He just dropped out. Okay.
Yeah.
Audio.
I'm still here.
Okay. Yeah, make faces at us real quick. We're starting to bore Zach.
Oh, there he goes. Oh, what was that?
What? I don't know.
That was a tease.
I think he made a face and then got back out quickly.
Well, I was going to ask Zach a question.
Go for it.
You sure? You don't want to be on screen when I do it?
I should have my camera back by then.
Okay.
Oh, he's changing
maybe.
it. He's changing settings.
Gotcha. They just
this camera just keeps dying by itself.
Right. They just launched.
Ooh, I'm a boss.
That is odd. How did you do that?
I
Your
don't know.
postage stamp.
He's got the Halo Red versus Blue team behind him.
He looks like he's getting ready to be sent to the Phantom Zone.
No kidding. I expect that thing to go flipping off into the distance.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, there you go.
I guess I was in like 260p or something, trying to be NASA.
They just launched that rocket and took this cargo pod up to the space station.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can't.
Cygnus.
My brain just froze. I can't remember who makes the rocket.
Northrop Grumman builds the rocket, and Cygnus does the capsule.
But they use those old Russian motors.
Not anymore.
Yep. They use the
RS-1?
RD-181 for the first stage and the Castor 30XL solid rocket on the second.
I thought they were.
The first stage still Russian.
It's
on
still.
the Antares.
Oh, okay.
You know where those rocket motors came from originally?
I
What's
mean,
the
I do
solid-
because I've watched Tim's video on Russian motors, but I can't quote it.
It came from the original N1 rocket.
Okay.
That was going to be their space rocket. And the first stage had like 37 of them up underneath that thing.
Cool looking rocket.
And the rockets were really cutting edge at the time. The only problem was they had 37 of them. So you had to have all this plumbing running from the fuel tanks down to the rocket motors to provide fuel and oxygen.
And
every time they launched one of
aren't
these
good at
things,
it,
all that plumbing started shaking, breaking apart, fuel went everywhere, rocket exploded. There you go. That's the old one. That one.
Wow.
Would have been pretty if it worked.
Yeah.
Now, something
I
interesting
mean,
about this,
it got off the ground a couple times.
Yeah.
Usually by blowing up, yeah.
they launched 4 of them. All 4 of them blew up. But they got enough data off the 4th one that they said if they had kept the funding and everything going, the 5th one probably would have made it into space.
Mm-hmm.
Did they say that on the second, third, and fourth one before that too?
Yeah.
I can't remember. I think it was the second one, but I might be wrong. That exploded on the launch pad. It did so much damage. It put their space program back behind a year because they had to rebuild the whole launch area.
Well, they had to, and they lost their head lead
rocket guy.
scientist.
Yeah.
And yeah, he went in for heart surgery, and apparently they thought it was colon cancer. So they were supposed to be working on his heart, and they ended up working on his colon. And well, yeah, it's Russia.
Yeah.
God.
Well,
Go in for heart surgery, and somebody in the Politburo needed a donation.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Some of these things are hilarious.
Mm.
Oh, this is questionable, guys. I'm going to. Okay, sorry.
But thank you for making us laugh.
Really? Like we could even remember his name.
It was a well thought up story, I think.
Plus, I think the guy's actually dead now.
Been so for quite some time, as I recall.
Okay. Of course, Elon says, our first goal of launching Booster 4 is to get it off the pad and clear the tower before it blows up.
And Booster 4 is not launching.
They're not going to launch it now?
4 and 20 are grounded. At the earliest, it'll be 5 and 21/22 because they've now merged those two ships.
Okay, so when was it? When they say that those two were
Unofficially, officially by the talk of the engineers on the roadside. That it was, Elon wants a fully stacked ship, let's stack it. And they'll still do testing, like we'll probably still see Booster 4 do statics, but I think they've iterated enough more that they want to, rather than waste the time launching that one, jump to the next generation already.
Actually, still alive, guys.
I'm going to be curious to see how
kidding.
that claw works.
64 years old.
Well, if it was him, I'm sorry, but you should have not gave us so much information in the beginning.
Yeah, it's not like we're going to ask for your autograph.
Yeah.
Because you never know what to write it with.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the claw. Sadly, when we were there, I was there for almost a week.
Yeah.
And every time they decided to do it was in the middle of the night. And I was like, great.
The chopsticks?
Yeah. So we sat roadside for 15 hours. Day one, they did basically nothing all day. Ship 20 vented. It was late at night. It had been dark for a few hours. We're like, we're going to leave. I'm not kidding. I went back and looked at some of the 24/7 cams. You can see our car back up and drive. And before our car leaves the frame, the ship starts moving. Like, really? If I had stopped to tie my shoe, we would have still been there? Okay. And then the night stack, no one saw coming. Nobody thought that was going to happen.
Oh, yeah. I remember watching that. They're talking about, they're just going to lift it up and down a couple times. And all of a sudden it just goes, they're going all the way up.
Okay.
Okay, they moved the quick disconnect. Then all of a sudden it swung over and they're going, holy crap, they're going to stack it.
Yeah.
Hey, Michaela.
Speaking of stack, Michaela's here.
Dan.
Oh.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Wrong room, Dan. Wrong room.
Bad old guy.
Bad Dan.
Dan's watching too much Benny Hill.
I bet she got a laugh out of it. I usually have that reaction from women, so.
And now she mocks you.
I don't think she's mocking. I think she's going, hey, yeah, okay. Nobody else has got the guts to say something like that.
Well, when you say something like that next, make sure you have Turkey in the Straw playing in the background so we know it's all part of a skit.
Yeah, or the Benny Hill music, yeah.
Oh, by the way, Benny Hill is on Saturday nights tonight. I think They run 2 episodes back to back on Antenna TV, I believe it is, like at 1 a.m.
There goes all our viewers.
Yeah.
It's a mass exodus.
No. At 1 a.m. would be during your show, Dan, so I ain't worried about it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Neither am I. Nobody watches my show.
They say, what happened to Last Man Standing? It was on for the first hour, and then they just shut it down.
Benny Hill's on.
Again.
Benny Hill.
Hey, there's an idea. We'll start a nasty rumor that Dan is actually Benny Hill, and that Benny Hill faked his death and moved to America.
Oh, wow.
I'm a little bit
Young.
the wrong stature and size.
Hey, Dan, just do this.
If I could do that, I could have. Never mind. I've never been drafted, so I didn't need to dodge it. So.
Dan, did you watch that video I sent you?
Not yet.
You need to.
I'm.
Michaela's just chilling after day 1 of the con. Tomorrow starts at 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Yeah.
Is that the morning that you're in, Michaela?
Yeah, she does QuadCon. I don't understand what the quad part means.
Quad Cities, man.
Quad Cities.
Oh, okay.
Davenport.
Yeah. And it's
She's in Iowa.
It's from what I understand, it's a set of smaller cons that happen all over the place, several weekends a month, and they're really neat.
Davenport, Iowa.
Davenport, okay.
Yeah, that was my second guess.
Michaela, did you see Cindy Kep over there? I'm thinking that was one of the ones that she sets up at.
That would be nice to try to pull off at around here, is to hit like Chattanooga, Nashville,
Birmingham, Atlanta.
Birmingham.
How many people can show up for all of them without getting burned out? Yeah.
The Chatta Birmingham con.
They do it inside malls, active malls. So you've got a new audience every time.
That makes sense, Michaela.
Man, it started in the Quad Cities, so it was called Quad City Con for years, and then it went on the road, and now it just kept the name. Okay. It evolved. Everything does.
Actually, Pensacon is going on in Pensacola this weekend. Connuga is happening in Chattanooga, and that's going on in Davenport, Iowa.
At malls mostly, but some use convention halls. Okay, that's good information to have.
Wesley Ure and Kathy Coleman from Land of the Lost is at Pensacon this weekend. Yesterday was Kathy's birthday, and she spent it with her fans in the yellow rubber raft. Her and Wesley always go in the yellow rubber raft when they do the cons, and then you'll see like celebrities get in the rubber raft with. That's like the latest thing. The celebrities want to get in the picture, and you'll see Wesley and Kathy in there, and then standing up behind them would be like Lou Ferrigno. It's really cool.
Yeah,
I
know several people that's at Pensacon this weekend.
Yeah, Pensacon's a fairly big convention.
Michaela says Cindy Cap's not there. She stays in Des Moines.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well.
I actually have some author friends from Colorado that's at Pensacon.
Yeah, it's a big one. Of course, like you said, there's one here in Chattanooga this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
there's some people that are attending that.
I do too, but they're more than welcome to go.
Clock.
Do what?
You're doing Stupid O'Clock tonight.
Yeah.
You made a commitment to it.
I made a commitment to do Stupid O'Clock, so I couldn't be down there.
We know people that go to every convention in the Chattanooga area.
Yep.
Not always the same people, but
Hey,
Yeah.
it's a big group.
when I was younger and we only had 3 or 4 cons, I went to all of them.
Yeah.
I had money back.
There are literally more conventions than one can go to,
Oh.
especially in the southeastern
Yeah.
United States.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. SouthernFan.com.
Yep.
What is it?
Fandom.
Southern Fandom Convention Resource Guide.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it's SouthernFan.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I used to in my magazine online. I used to every month post the schedule that they had current. Wiping out the previous month and adding on the one tacked onto the end there. But somehow or another, I've got out of the habit of doing that. We stopped doing that particular page in the magazine. There was a lot of things in there.
Yeah. SouthernFan.com/calendar.htm.
Michaela, that would not surprise me one bit. They are legions of people on TikTok. I don't happen to be one of them, but I know people who constantly talk about it.
Yeah, Facebook keeps showing me TikTok videos, and I'm going, you do know there's people outside of Korea, right?
Yeah, that's another one I want to hit up, Michaela. But
Imaginarium.
Imaginarium. Yeah, I've heard good things about that.
The TikTok videos that I see are always American people, usually women. It's that same song over and over where it starts, and then they do their little dance, and then and everyone is doing the same dance over and over and over.
Baby shark.
I don't think it. Well, I don't know. I don't even.
You better hope Amy Hale ain't in here.
Oof.
I think she does not like the baby shark.
Oh
no, no, that's a fight.
You do know that Baby Shark has their own cartoon now. Take a wild guess.
Never cease.
Take a wild guess at what one of my mom's foster kids' favorite shows is.
It's not going to be Shark Theater, is it?
No, I wish.
Barney.
But the oldest kid does like Chucky.
Okay.
The thing I don't get with
Is it
Baby
Barney?
Shark is it came out long before it went viral. Like, we used it at camp like 5 years before anyone else was talking about it on social. So I'm like, it's not like it was new. It just got picked up by the right person.
It's from like the early 90s, wasn't it?
Somebody did a
thought so.
meme, and it took off.
Yeah. Well, it's like TikTok.
Exactly what it is. Somebody did a meme, and there it went.
Mm.
And no, I do not call them memes. I call them memes.
I was going to say a meme?
Because it's all about meme. That's the only reason they make those things. Self-glorification. They
Or to
couldn't
just
come up with
embarrass other
anything
people.
original, so they make memes.
And now they make memes, NFTs, and make money off them.
Yeah.
Well, that one girl that had a lot of hits on TikTok. I heard this on WBBM radio today. Apparently, she had a stalker, and they came and they blew a nice size hole through her front door with a shotgun. And to my knowledge, they have not caught this person yet. But he was, like the deranged fan.
Yeah, deranged fans. No.
And found out where she lived. And
Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
Joe, do we have any deranged fans?
Just me.
Okay, just check.
Do we have deranged fans?
Well, we had 10 of them a little while ago, but now they're all running from the cops.
my one end of the computer table isn't working right.
Have you?
So it might be deranged.
Have you ever seen the group we hang out with? Do you even have to ask?
Okay. Wait a minute.
And see who knows your name.
Let's go for the manageable number. Do we have any not deranged fans? Okay.
Yes, we do.
I think my wife watches the show occasionally on repeat. She ain't gonna stay
Right
up this
there.
late.
It's not deranged. It's a little moody at times.
Hey, show that again, Bill.
Was that like a cool effect? I could turn it on and talk
Would that
through
be our
it.
number one fan?
No, that's Bill's biggest fan.
That's my
No, that's
biggest.
just- that-
No,
that's
it's
one of
not
the
my
smaller
biggest
fans.
fan. That's in the other room. It's quite a bit. This is my smallest fan.
Most dedicated fan.
Yeah. Well,
Rearrangements. Okay, Sarah. You win this one. That's definitely a thing.
Yeah.
Even though I held up 11 fingers, but
There's an idea.
birth defect.
What?
and 2 thumbs.
We'll start an organization on Facebook called derangedfans.com. And all it is every time you want to start a page like this, you post it on derangedfans.com and we'll show up and just like, we want to buy your underwear or, whatever.
Michaela just asked the ultimate question, John and Dan.
There is a rule about this. Matter of fact, there are several, but yeah.
Because they never leave the con.
I suppose it might have something to do with living in
They spent 24 hours in a car getting there. B, they're sharing a room with 25 other people, and they all have to try and get in the shower at some point in time during the convention.
That sounds like fun.
B, they don't want to miss anything, so they didn't go to that shower when it was their time to go to that shower. And C, they're usually people that probably shouldn't be walking that much. Okay. So they're just walking through the hotel hall, sweating and, just this close to a heart attack because they got to get that autograph.
I'll be right back.
Are you going to get an autograph?
No, I'm going to the toilet.
Kind of like those people there, John.
Something like that. Even worse, it turns out when you see them and they smell really bad, they're actually the furries that you saw 2 hours ago. They're just not in the costume now. That's why they smell bad, is they've been in a furry costume for 2 hours. Think I'm kidding?
Go to Dragon Con.
Do you have any idea how many conventions I've pulled security for? Do you have any idea how many jokes we make about the aromas that pass by going to the con suite or the dealer's room or to this panel or that panel? You're sitting there going, whew, smells like potpourri, oregano, and gym shorts, I guess.
Sweaty pleather and tinfoil armor or chainmail.
And then you got assholes like me that when somebody says, "Here, hold this," I put it in my coat pocket and walk off while they're continuing to talk. And it's usually their liquor. John has seen it.
Recently. Within the last month.
No, it's been more than a month.
Has it?
Yeah.
No, about a month ago.
January 14th was first day. 14th through 16th. It's 19th. It's 20th now.
Tuesday.
What about Tuesday?
22nd.
Yeah.
It's going to be 2/22.
22.
22 is going to be
Margarita Day.
2 day. And it's on a Tuesday.
And it's on a Tuesday.
Enough. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how they planned that one out.
Well,
I wonder how they planned that one out.
I bet Two-Face has an evil plan hatched for that day, so be on your lookout.
Of course, I forgot where I was going with it.
Keep going.
Oh,
Tuesday. Yeah, Tues.
yeah. HallowCon 2020. That just killed me that we lost that day for the convention because Halloween was on a Saturday night,
Yep.
full moon, blue moon. Won't happen again for another 1,000 years,
You'll be there.
Set
probably.
your calendar.
Even Chris had to jump in and agree with that one.
Yep. It was sad that we had to do that, but
Oh.
we had to do what we had to do.
But we made it work.
Oh,
Thanks to John, Blake, and Heather, and
Skunk.
Who else jumped in and helped?
Well, I was on the panels. Comment.
How about your wife, Donna? You remember her, don't you?
Bill's back. I mean, Dan's back.
Dan's back.
I don't think Bill left.
Doing my impersonation of Dan.
Hey, you tried growing a beard this epic. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Just shave it on that one side.
Jump in, Zach. Get word in edgewise.
I have nothing to add.
or sideways or upside down. We don't care.
Well, I could do the asymmetrical beard from the Larry Niven known space stories, where you have one side completely shaved except for a little spike growing out of that cheek, and then have a bald spot on the other side. Hey, he wrote it. I didn't. My imagination's not that damn good. Otherwise, I'd be rich like him.
Well, it's like Larry Niven spacers. You know, the belters, the people.
The
who live
belters,
in
yeah.
They had mohawks.
Yeah.
They had these little thin mohawks, but they grow them out like 1.5 feet, and braid them on.
Yeah.
And the reason they had the mohawks was they didn't want all that hair hanging down on the sides because it would mess with your helmets. When you
And might at a crucial moment get in front of your eyes when you're trying to dodge a piece of debris or dock with something.
He also had this thing. He talked about the belters, about they would all, if they weren't doing anything, they would always stand perfectly still because they'd grown up working in space, and you didn't want your arms and legs flailing about, hitting buttons inside the spaceship and accidentally activating stuff. So they'd always like find a corner, prop themselves into it, and basically they wedged themselves in a corner so they wouldn't float around in 0G, and they'd always keep their arms and legs close in. He said you could always tell the belters if it wasn't by the hair, it was by the way they stood.
Larry's got quite an extensive body of work, and I'm not aware of any of it that is bad. There are some things that are not my cup of tea, but it's still very well written.
And you're talking about belters, which reminded me that somebody's going to be belted to the outside of a Dragon capsule this year.
Shatner?
What a transition.
How do you like that segue?
That was a great segue.
What? You got any more information on that, or has Jared just sort of, cast you to the side to talk to all the big fancy people now?
No, I texted him.
Yeah.
So the announcement came out about 9. I texted him, and then SpaceX contacted us for a press call that happened that they didn't stream for some reason. Normally, like, they don't tell people they're going to do it, but they just hit like go live when something like that happens, but they didn't do it. So we were on a call with the crew for about an hour and asked some questions. Half the press only wanted to know how much he spent. And unfortunately, the press, I've really learned this last 2 press events, being at Starbase and then on this call, is that half that press should not be invited because all they care about is the money. But they're not actually asking direct questions. And you could tell Elon and Jared were like, I'm not telling you. Like, get over it. You're not finding out. My theory is he is not buying by mission anymore. He's buying a % of SpaceX privately. which I think also explains why they're doing a stock split in a couple weeks. Is
Yeah.
that they've wanted to change that. So they haven't put out a lot. Most people are more excited about the Starship mission than I think the two Crew Dragon ones. They did share that there are going to have to be some sort of handhelds or something attached to Dragon. So the question is, how will they do that on orbit? Because they don't have a lot of space to bring extra equipment to it, and there's no real ports on the side of Dragon to add anything. So,
And to add anything, you have to go through recertification of the vehicle.
Really,
Yeah.
and that's going to take time and money.
the only thing that I could see them
clocking out. So
Okay, Michaela. Have a
best
good
of
night.
luck tomorrow.
Hope you get some sleep. Hope you sell a lot of books.
Yeah, really, sell out everything you took with you.
But there's actually going to be a Gemini style spacewalk, but if there's going to be 4, so what would
two of them get to be bored inside.
Oh, so 2 of them are going to walk out, or
Yeah, only 2 get to go outside. I'll find a picture here. 2 get to go outside. 2 get to stay inside. All 4 will be in the new spacesuit.
Sarah, thanks for tuning in. Glad to have you watching the show. Hope you have a good night and a great tomorrow.
Yeah, good night, sir.
So this is actually their debut of the extravehicular suit, which is actually a good
perfect timing.
Which is perfect timing because NASA needs a new EVA suit,
and it's at like the end of this year is when they want to do it. That is when I believe the contracts are opening for the EVA suits. So SpaceX will be like, "Oh, here's our design, but also it's done.
It's already it's been operation. It's operational."
Yeah.
Thank you, Richie.
Space rated. Yeah.
Hey, Richie. Yeah, a lot of people are expecting a lot of people had heard rumblings that there was going to be an announcement of a mission at the Starbase announcement.
Yeah.
With Elon, which would have made the most sense to me, but they decided to hold it 72 hours and do it separately. It does really explain why Jared had spent a week flying around fighter jets around Starbase and almost hitting a couple starships with his jets. That video.
Yeah, Dan, there's a video. He flew between the 2 that are setting all the 2
I'll find it.
15 and 16. He actually cocked her on the wings and flew between them.
Yeah, apparently the FAA is not overly thrilled.
Yeah, and
because he was lower than the booster as well.
Yeah,
FAA and thrilled are not 2 words that normally go together.
No.
Are you going to bring it there?
There might not be the smoothest, but you can see the ships and the boosters very briefly.
Oh yeah, he flew over the boost. He flew over S-15, but lower than the booster.
Yeah. No.
What are those Italian fighter jets, or
they're Alpha jets? Were the 2 that he brought out this time.
It's a basic trainer / light fighter. Everybody uses them. It's kind of I think the United States Air Force had them for a while, but Italy uses them for their demonstration flight team. I think Spain did too for a while. France had them for a while, if I remember correctly.
And this guy owns 2 of them.
Well, he owns a MiG. He owns his own private air force. Like, what does he own? Mm-hmm. He now owns a Starship. Or at least has leased a Starship rented. I'm not sure what it would be.
So
that would depend on whether or not he ever intends on turning it back in when he's through with it.
I
kinda
didn't get
doubt
to
it.
see the whole article, but what is this I heard about Starlink losing like 30 or 40 satellites?
Oh, that was
Oh.
yeah. We talked about that a week or so ago with
And
Stephanie here.
yeah, and Stephanie goes, I'm not going to talk about it. All I'm going to say is if you watch the headlines of what happened just before it, and then you lose 40 satellites to an EM pulse or
Which
a
wasn't
solar.
that powerful to
Which,
start with.
yes. Either one of two things happened. You built shitty equipment, or I'm not going to talk about it, was pretty
Mhm.
much what she said.
Yep. And knowing what she was not going to talk about makes it even
Makes even more sense.
yeah. And believe me, I wish I was a good enough writer to be able to make up that stuff.
Yeah.
But this is facts. So
And
She's got so much real life experience to make the stuff work. Whether
who? Elon?
Stephanie.
Oh, Stephanie? Yeah.
Somebody's cat kicked the plug out of the wall, which just took all the power away, and they all just dropped down.
the
That happened
anti-grav
with Booster
quit.
4, so I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised if it happened again.
Mm. And
Or
we'll,
Johnny from Airplanes at work again.
we'll find out, what, Monday? Monday morning?
Oh,
That's the next one. Did you see the video of the Starlinks re-entering that was captured in Puerto
Yes.
Rico?
Yeah.
Oh, gorgeous, but so sad to think each of those was $250,000.
That was an expensive fireworks show.
and burned up like half of my retirement money right there in one fell swoop.
We'll see what happens. It opens the question. I mean, I was talking with another show yesterday, and it brings the whole. The sun is still a big factor that we don't know a lot of.
Yeah.
Like we haven't had a lot of practice with, especially on long-term missions. Like you can't get out of the way if something comes. A Starlink they could have delayed, but
I was just reading something today about they were talking about how NASA is going to have to curtail its mission until they get a better handle on space weather.
They should talk to Stephanie. She knows what she's talking about.
a lot's known. The biggest thing is you can't always predict far enough. Like especially Mars, you can't predict far enough out what the sun's going to do. And
Yeah, not with
you're
a
better.
minimum 3-4 month flight time one way. No, you're absolutely right. And the coronal mass ejections are moving. And let's see, one happens and 3 days later it hits Earth. That's quite a clip, you know. And that's moving at a really respectable speed.
And that's the
Salt.
Oh
That's
yeah, the
fish
jet. Yeah,
manufacturer, right?
The Alpha Jet.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, we're not changing high flight, even if they do the poem.
yeah.
Even if they go in between the rockets again?
I don't know. Maybe if they got a video of him cocking her up on the wing and flying between the two, and
I'm just shocked how close they allowed them to get to the fully stacked ship the day they destacked it.
that
That was
It's a little
closer
bit
than I was
dangerous.
expecting.
It was a little bit dangerous.
yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody
Imagine
got that
being
one
in it.
before I did.
Of course,
I was pulling the trigger on that bot, and somebody else got it right out from under me. So,
Zach's camera died on him.
oh,
Yeah.
This
Now,
camera-
John, you remember when the F-104 starfighters were flying around and were doing their air shows and coming in and doing flyovers for Riverbend?
No.
I made the mistake of trying to stand up towards Carter Street to look down for the coming in. I just so happened to be standing next to the Marine guys, all buffed up and all that.
Bob,
And I looked up and said, as the F-104 was coming in. He flew straight down Carter Street. I looked up and said, "Incoming!" About that time, he went over the top of me.
Mm-hmm.
These Marines were crawling around underneath their Humvee. What the? I looked over and sorry, guys.
I shouldn't laugh. I shouldn't laugh. I mean, seriously, this PTSD is a real thing, and it's not funny.
Joe, you're not right sometimes.
I wasn't thinking. This was one of my total fuck ups.
You do those from time to time.
And they're looking at me like, thanks for the warning. Because I got incoming out just enough in just enough time for them to look over at me as it went over the top.
One of these days, somebody's going to shoot you.
I said, at least I warned you.
Dan, the fact
Yeah.
that he's made it this far without getting shot is,
It's because his victims are crawling under cars trying to get away.
Hey, he's had plenty of practice dodging Donna's backhands.
Yeah. Now,
This is true. He's almost on the Ultraman level of being able to dodge an incoming SWAT.
Now, I did have one of them come over to me and goes, "That's the wrong word to use." He goes, "Thank you for the warning." Because had we not had that much warning, we would have all shit our pants. Because, he's buzzing downtown Chattanooga below some of he was actually below the pyramid of the aquarium.
Wow.
At roughly 500 miles an hour.
So he ran a couple of stoplights. Huh?
Yeah.
Let's see, the cops pulled him over, huh?
I mean, there would have probably been a couple Marines laying up against the fence going, thinking they'd been killed.
Coming to join you, Elizabeth.
Oh.
Yeah.
And we lost John.
He was a good man.
in your dream.
Yeah, well, I can praise you without.
Yeah, well, that's funny that John thinks that he's not a good man.
No, he just thinks he is in Dan's dreams.
I'm sorry, John doesn't enter into my dreams, let me tell you. Other people we know maybe, but not John. I'm sorry.
Well, here is a weird thing I'm going to say about my dreams. When I have dreams about people I know, they're dead.
Before or after?
They're dead. They've passed. They've been gone.
And your brain brings them back.
Yeah.
In your dreams.
Yeah.
Oh, I do that all the time with my family.
And it just so happens that a guy that I used to work with, haven't talked about for years.
Mm-hmm.
I had dreams a few nights in a row, then come to find out today he's passed away.
Mm.
He's saying goodbye to you.
Yeah.
And you gave up ghost busting for this?
No, I'm just haunted by the assholes from work.
Well, he couldn't get that Ray Parker strut down going down the street.
No.
Well, not everybody can pull that off.
No.
Really? It's like wearing a decorative vegetable. Not everybody can manage that one.
Well, the monkeys one is even more difficult.
Oh yeah.
I'm glad I did. I'm glad I missed that one.
Which one?
Whatever Dan or whatever Bill just said.
I can repeat it.
No, you don't have to.
The Walk from the Monkeys intro from their TV series, yeah, and I could see where that would be
Or
difficult.
walking down the street.
That that was a stab at Abbey Road too.
Yeah.
Sideways, sort of. Yeah. You have to do a sizable amount of recreational substances to be able to pull off that walk, and not trip over each other.
And Bill, since you're a Monkees fan, what do you think of Mickey Dolenz coming out with a Monkees tribute tour?
It'll be interesting. I'm sure I'll see stuff pop up on YouTube about it, but
Being he's the only survivor of the band.
Yeah. He'd been out soloing before as much as all the rest of them did, and they all did Monkey songs in their playlist. Typically, it was the ones that they sang.
Yeah.
And then to go one further, I heard just today that Paul McCartney announced a new tour.
Yeah.
Man, that guy don't stop.
No.
Well, why stop? I mean, good grief.
Well, yeah, if he stops, he probably wouldn't be able to get started again. But,
there'd be that damn rumor from the 60s all over again.
Yeah.
And
I had that magazine.
They've got replacement Paul McCartney's in a closet somewhere.
Yeah, this is William Campbell.
Well, I would like to see Paul and Ringo get together with Julian and George Harrison's boy,
Danny,
and do a tour.
Yeah.
It would be awesome. It really would.
Have you ever seen the YouTube video of Sean Lennon singing his dad's song "Isolation"? It is eerily good.
I have not seen it in a long time, but yeah, I saw it. Probably when it was brand new. I think YouTube was still playing music videos back then.
It's just him with an electric guitar, and you can hear an accompany backup that was probably on some track. And he's got the round glasses, but they're a little bit bigger than the granny glasses that John wore, and he's got the long hair via White Album era type hair, but of course, because he's Yoko Ono's son, it's all dark.
And Zach,
I'm gonna bow out. I'm getting called by one of my mods, but thanks for having me.
Hey, you are welcome.
Jump on again.
You're welcome anytime.
Yeah,
thank you.
If Mom calls you, you need to go see what Mom wants.
Well,
Mom. Okay, so I'm sorry. Okay,
Mom, I wouldn't be telling you. I'd be gone.
Yeah.
You'd just be looking at empty rockets. But no, thanks for having me, guys, and we will see you again.
Thanks for coming in. We appreciate it.
It's always a pleasure.
Excuse me.
Okay, he just turned off. There he goes. Okay. Hit the wrong
It
button.
would be cool having him and Stephanie on the same time.
Oh, I would love to hook him and Stephanie to do a show together. I'd love to get him, Stephanie, and Les together on a show.
Yeah, you could call it Armchair Rocket Science, and it wouldn't be far.
Yeah. I'm surprised she wasn't on here tonight. Did anybody hear anything?
Yeah, she's got a lot of. She sent me a screenshot of her calendar.
Yeah,
She's got a.
She's booked.
Stuff to do. Yeah,
I think she's got a convention next weekend. She's got edits to do and writing to do on anthologies that she's part of, and
so she can't screw around with us. She has work to do.
Yeah,
she's got
exactly.
She got money.
She gets paid for not being here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good for her. Keep her busy, keep her mind busy, and hopefully that'll all be healing.
And that's why y'all don't see me on Thursday nights on Stupid O'Clock, because I'm at work trying to make a living.
Now, if I could just figure out how to get you guys to pay me not to come in, I'd be all right.
Go fund.
Well, you've been sick for a month and hadn't hardly been on at all, so.
I got used to it, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I kind of got used to being your Joey Bishop there for the whole month. So,
Well, I did sort of watch the shows. I mean, I had
well,
no voice and couldn't talk, so I'd
the
have it.
hardest thing was John and I don't communicate off screen, so we couldn't tell which one of us was going to hit the same button at the same time. And usually he's a step ahead of me, so I'm going, wait a minute.
And I'm usually the one bringing up people that comment, so they don't, because they tend to get focused on the task at hand. And
oh, really? Or just running our mouths? Well, my mouth, yeah. John doesn't talk an awful lot. He's the original Clint Eastwood.
no, John is like
I'll
the
be back.
Ed McMahon that when he talks, he says what he's got to say, and then he lets everybody else do their thing.
He's just doing his impersonation of Marcel Marceau.
Ah,
That and all you old guys, I can't get a word in edgewise anyway.
Hey, it's hard for me to get a
well, there
word
is
in.
that. I'll give you that. I do tend to run off.
All right, I'm back.
Speaking of old guys that I can't get a word in edgewise on,
I'm just the one sitting over here going, and we've gone through 3 subjects before I can get out what I wanted to say.
Tell me about it. Sometimes it's 5 for me.
Well, at least you're not like me and start talking and think, why are they interrupting me? And that, and I look, and I'm like, oh crap, I forgot to unmute myself from the last time I coughed.
Well, I've done that before, been arguing with you guys and going, oh shit, unmute.
That's it. That's the only way we'll ever win an argument with you.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry about that, guys. I just sort of.
You had an attack of the vapors?
Yeah.
Well, I heard a dog barking, so I thought maybe you were going to break up a fight
I
or
think
something.
that was one of those spiders barking.
It was a spider. And he had bad breath, too. Chris knows.
Oh, I know as well, but
No.
I was just trying to go, how far can I take this?
Dan.
Not even to the curb. No, let's just shut up.
I got
Dan.
Stephanie laughing so hard Thursday night.
That must have been after I left.
Yep. It was on Last Man Standing.
Yeah, we were talking about the manhole that got launched. That
Yeah, and she actually did the math to find out how far it went so far.
it either burned up in the sun or it's almost to the
Almost
heliosphere.
caught up to the Voyagers in a different direction.
Yeah, I took the conversation in another direction completely.
I still
Hey,
say
it was
Bugs
funny.
Bunny and
I got
Marvin the
her
Martian.
tickled.
Yeah, that's a whole different kind of math you're talking about there.
Well, she's claimed it would have went even further than that. So even she got her dig in.
And I missed it.
I've still got the page up where she had mentioned Ross 248, and I still have not had time to read that Wikipedia page. Yeah, it's a star. Gliese 905 is the other name for it.
Yeah.
It's in Andromeda, and it's too dim to be seen by the naked eye. But Frank Elmore Ross discovered it in 1926 with a pretty neat telescope, evidently for 1926, and sometime about 80,000 years from now, it will be the nearest star to our sun because of stellar drift and things like that. But if it's in Andromeda, that means that the galaxies have collided, and there's a lot of well, you can't say stars playing bumper cars because there's so much empty space between everything out there. I mean, there's light years and light years of nothing but a couple of specks of dust most of the way through. So stellar collisions are highly unlikely, but they might disturb each other a little bit and change the orbit. And damn, talk about needing Stephanie. You get me talking about,
I'm just going to see how far you're going to dig.
hey, it's my hole. I'll stop when I reach the basement.
China.
Or you feel like
Hey, Dan, you know when you reach rock bottom, you only got 2 ways to go.
Yeah, and both of them are sideways.
No, straight up or sideways.
Well, I'm just going to add another room. I mean, hell, if I'm digging a basement, might as well make it a big one.
Yep, put your man cave down there.
My wife would be so happy. Talk about journey to the center of the earth. Yeah.
Dan, you can always do like I did. You know those rent-to-own portable buildings? Put one of those out in the backyard, run your internet line and a cable TV line and a phone line and electricity. And shoot, at one time, mine had a central heat and air window unit.
See, you're broadcasting from it right now. Yeah.
Mhm.
I do that, and one of my stepkids is going to want to move in.
My son tried. Uh-oh.
There's the point on the top of my head. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-oh. Russian bots.
Another one? Okay. Well, I was busy talking.
They got big
Those look
hands.
too well designed to be Russian. I think Russian bots. I think steampunk. You know, got a smokestack coming out of the shoulder and big old clanking locomotive things walking around.
Those look more like Chinese robots.
Mm.
Where is that coming from? What?
You got some explaining to do, Lucy. Where's what coming from?
Those disparaging comments.
Oh, have
About
somebody made
communist
a comment?
countries.
No, I keep hearing it here in my room.
Huh.
Oh Lord!
All right, whose phone?
I blame
Alexa,
Alexa.
please stop
The
heckling.
The
Joe.
methane farm must be firing up.
Alexa, what is a communist?
I got headphones on. I know better with you guys. I think I did it last night in the. Did I do it here or did I do it in the green room last night? The Google. Hey Google, beam me up.
I'd like to meet this Scotty. I hear a lot about him. He must be a busy guy.
Hey Google, beam me out.
Okay, energize.
If you ever get the video blur thing from
Did it work?
that program that
Not
Uncle
really.
Carl uses, you could actually do the special effect and leave your virtual background there.
Mm.
Yeah, he said he was having problems with OBS. I don't know if it crashed or what it did.
Don't know.
I'm just
It's
glad
an
you got
awesome
the ball
program, but
started
it's got a
right.
learning curve to it.
Yeah.
I have not had the patience to become proficient with it. So now Skunk can use it really well. I mean, he does the avatar with the animated background and all. That's all OBS in there. being used as a virtual camera for StreamYard. And
John just did it.
Yep.
hmm,
Well, maybe if I ever get my desktop built, I'll be able to do a lot more than I can currently do.
well, I have entertained the thought about putting the green screen cloth over my chair and then go putting on that Jedi robe that I bought from Pat Elrod, and it's exactly the right color to where I could pull the hood down and look like the Invisible Man, just sitting here with the background showing right through me, and seeing how many times that Joe Dog would click me out of the channel because I'm not in the chair.
What?
Yeah, just exactly about like that. Yeah, except that I would be popping myself back into Joe Dog's annoyance.
What's odd about that is
What?
that my green screen is actually fleece material.
Hmm.
And it feels really nice to wrap yourself up in it and just sit here.
Yes.
Yeah, mine's
Need to cut a
cotton twill, but
hole in it and then have it pulled down, and then you just pop your head out.
Yeah, that'll work.
believe me, there are a lot of things that we could do. I mean, we have many years of con experience between us. We could actually cosplay the Invisible Man this way.
That con experience got you some prison time for it too, I hear.
Nope. Nobody ever caught me at doing anything yet.
Actually, at one Chattanooga convention, there was federal prison time for
Not
a few
for me.
people.
Not
Oh,
for
wow.
me, no. I wasn't involved in that. I was never anywhere near that particular room, and unless you have photographic proof, I'm going to keep right on denying it.
I heard over Chattacon that several people were cuffed a few times that weekend during the discussions.
We cuffed him and stuffed him. Good.
Nice Roscoe P. Coltrane impersonation.
Oh,
Yes, he's
velvet
not only an
ears.
artist, he's a voice impersonator. Oh, there's another one.
Oh,
You're shooting dicks.
gonna get
John,
you,
did you hear those stories about several of the convention leads being cuffed and interviewed? Even Regina was involved.
Wow.
Regina in handcuffs.
Come on.
Yeah.
Were they fur lined?
No.
Oh,
No, and wow, that's an image I don't associate her with.
Well,
You do now.
well, it wasn't that kind of handcuffs. It was the real ones.
Yeah, I know what you, but still.
And I found out that one of the attendees worked for the Nuclear Regulatory
Commission.
Agency.
Commission. Yeah. And just so happened to take that weekend off to come to Chattacon.
Did that person straighten things out, or
They helped, but
I don't remember any handcuffs involved in that particular incident.
yeah, well, these people were talking about being woken up in their room, being beat on having the door banged on.
wow?
But from what I understand, the lady that the NRC girl,
Mm-hmm.
had she not taken that weekend off,
Mm-hmm. It'd have been bad.
She'd have been the one that came up
Well,
because it was her department. She comes walking through the lobby and sees half her staff standing down there. What are you guys doing here?
Are you guys at the convention too? And they're all wearing hazmat suits. We're working.
Hey, we didn't have a chili cook-off that year.
Of course, Chris, me and Stephanie also learned how to get Elon to the HallowCon now.
Yeah, that's
Food.
a good one right there.
I wonder what kind of food he likes.
I don't know, but we would definitely make sure it was there.
Yeah.
No, what happened
Where's
is that
Zach when we need him?
yeah, Zach. That's one I should have told Zach about. This guy gets up and asks Elon a question about an invite to some school function, and he says, "We got all this, and we're going to have all this, and we'll feed you too." And he goes, "I'm there."
Yeah. We get Megan to make some ribs for him. I think he'll be back.
Oh, Lord, just drop Megan's name. He probably already knows about her.
Now,
She should be famous.
Okay, this is show's almost over, so I'm going to throw this out here real quick. According to USA Today, more than 1,000 rodents were found in the Family Dollar facility, Family Dollar distribution facility in West Memphis, Arkansas.
Wow.
John, they were rats.
That's what it says, rodents. I don't know.
Yeah.
It could be kangaroos. You never know.
Yeah, but they got an
no,
employee discount.
I heard that on the
marsupials.
news.
oh,
See, after fumigating the facility, more than 1,100 dead rodents were recovered. Now, the thing was, the FDA forced them to recall a bunch of stuff that went through this warehouse that the rats may have been involved with. Mostly foodstuffs, of course.
Yes.
But other stuff that the rats were involved with. So they've got huge recalls at Family Dollar. I don't know if that affects any of y'all.
We go to Dollar General, not Family Dollar. Family Dollar does not employ friendly people in this area.
Yeah, and
they're also Dollar Tree too.
yeah, I started to say I was surprised to learn that Family Dollar owns Dollar Tree.
No, Dollar Tree owns Family Dollar.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
they're still part of the same company.
Yeah,
A couple of years ago, that happened. Yeah, the Family Dollars around here in Illinois are generally in the poor to destitute neighborhoods, and then at the same time, they're the ones who get robbed consistently. So if you have a Family Dollar in one neighborhood, it might be open until 10 o'clock at night. If you have Family Dollar in a certain neighborhood that I previously mentioned, they may close at 6. And same with the Casey's too.
Oh, you know what time it is?
It's that now.
Okay, you got 2 minutes till high flight. Otherwise, I'm late.
Well, Dan, start your show at the top of the hour.
Well, I do, but
If High Flight's still running, start your show.
I don't know why I hate to do that. It's like
Well, I'm giving you permission. Step on them. If I'm holding up your show, start your show.
Really?
Well, it's really just the after show for Stupid O'Clock. It really is. It's always has been. It's not like it's something special on its own.
Dan, I hate to say this. I think I'm going to have to drop out of your show tonight. My eyes are getting a little worse, so I need to go put some drops and rest them.
It's all right. If I'm the only one there, then I'll laugh at all of my jokes.
I'll still listen to y'all.
Oh, I'm definitely not going to hang around because I'm already feeling. I got to take my cough medicine,
Does it have codeine in it?
Yes.
Woo-hoo-hoo. I'm
I
coming over
love-
to your house.
Good
borrowing
man.
tacos.
Oh,
And then
I finally got codeine listed on my medical record as this shit may kill me.
Ugh.
Yeah,
That was the only thing Mom was allergic to.
and I had to wait till I was 64 years old before anybody would put it down. You know?
Wow.
Yeah.
well, I'm allergic to codeine too. Knocks my ass out.
That ain't allergic. That's fortunate.
That's how it's supposed to work, Joe.
Yeah.
All right. We're like 10 seconds out. It's time to say goodnight, everybody.
Bye, con Dios,
No, buddy.
amigos.
Good night, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks to Zach for jumping in. Thank you, John, Dan, Chris, and Bill Sarton. Thank you. We'll see y'all Thursday night. Good night, everybody.
Oh, I have slept the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter-silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done 100 things you have not dreamed of. Wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up, up the long, delirious, burning blue, I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace, when never lark nor even eagle flew. And while with silent, lifting mind, I've trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand, and touched the face of God.